Good afternoon, and welcome back to America's Workforce, broadcast from Ohio for workers around the entire world. Don't forget we archive everything on awfradio.com. Our next segment is with Daniel DeVerna. Dan is a registered representative and investment advisor representative offering securities and investment advisory services solely through the Emeritus Investment Corp, AIC. A registered broker-dealer, member, FINRA, SIPC, and registered investment advisor. AIC, by the way, is not affiliated with Creative Financial Partners. Additional products and services may be available through Daniel DeVerna or Creative Financial Partners that are not offered through AIC. Representatives of AIC do not provide tax or legal advice, so please consult your tax advisor or attorney regarding your circumstances. Hey, Dan, welcome back to the show. Thanks for joining us once again.
Good to be here.
All right. We should also mention the website, DanDeVerna.com, DanDeVerna.com. I'll mention that again at the end of the show. Today, we are going to talk about understanding your retirement plan. I know this is gobbledygook to a lot of people. Knowing what your options are and what you have. Talk to me about that, Dan.
Well, one of the things that I encounter, I work almost exclusively with union workers, and typically they work really hard. Their jobs are hard. They work hard. They are busy people, and one of the things that they sometimes don't take the time to do is dig into some of these details. And I'm not really asking you to. I'm just telling you that you should consider either digging into it a little bit yourself or having somebody that can give you some guidance. Because one of the missteps that I see often is people not understanding what they already have in place. And what I mean by that is you have a pension that's in place, you have Social Security in place, but you also generally have some accessories to go with those things, like a 401k or a retirement plan or maybe some annuities. And so with many of those, you have the options to decline and not put any money in, or you can put some money in and perhaps get a match. So I'll start with that. If I was going to give you $3 for every $3 you gave me, it would make sense for you to do that. You're putting in $3 and I'm giving you $3. That means you get $6 and it only costs you $3.
There you go. That's free money.
A lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's free money, and you're not ever going to get a higher rate of return than doubling your money on the first day. And so some missteps that we've seen historically are people that are not really paying attention, so they don't do some of these simple moves that are going to absolutely give them an enhanced opportunity for either early retirement or perhaps a better retirement.
Mm-hmm.
So that's definitely one of the missteps that we see all the time. You can't really assume anything. You have to know, and I've tried to establish this with my kids. You know, once you get out from under this roof, nobody really cares, is what I've said. And I do think that's the truth. And the unions are trying to take care of people, and they're having the meetings, and they're walking them through, and they're giving them all of the information, but sometimes it's just not being digested. So I would encourage you to kind of look and make sure you're understanding where that is. The other thing is a lot of the options are being defaulted just based upon your age. And if you've met 5 people and they're all age 50, you know all 5 of them are real different. So you've got one that's really aggressive, one that's really conservative, a couple in the middle. And so you want to also be considering not just how old you are, but also many other pieces as to how aggressive or conservative, depending upon your lifestyle and your lifestyle in retirement that you plan to have.
Yeah,
all big deals.
Yeah, the market, it doesn't go up in a straight line. There's a lot of jagged edges to it, no doubt. You know, this is really important, especially to union members, because there was a time in America where you had the defined benefit plan, and you got certain benefits, monthly benefits for the rest of your life. And now that has switched pretty much more than any to defined contribution plans, where you, as you mentioned, you know, you put in the $3, I'll match the $3, and you more or less manage your own type of account. And that's a big bulk of America today. So it's really, really important that you know your options. Talk to me about maximizing the plan options. I'm sure that's pretty critical to our listeners.
Well, we were kind of hitting on one already, but you definitely want to have a consideration be that you're making sure absolutely positively that you get all the free money off the table.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't usually cost you a whole dollar. When you defer in most of these programs, and we'll talk a little more about that in a minute, but when you defer in most of these programs, basically they're pre-tax dollars. So if you put $3 away pre-tax, you don't really feel $3. You might feel $2.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yeah.
So you definitely want to be aware and conscious of putting those dollars away to get all the free money off the table. The other considerations, besides how aggressive or conservative you are some of the plans now we're seeing are adopting some different rules. And some of those different rules give you increased flexibility. So, for instance, at age 59 and a half, there's something with most of the plans in Ohio where there is an in-service withdrawal available, which means that at 59 and a half, you have an expanded version of your investment options, even if you're still working for the same place. So this is a very big deal. It expands the options from perhaps your 20 or 30 options to potentially 1,000. I mean, it is a big consideration. Nobody's really talking about it. Yet another would be that there are a lot of people have heard of, and maybe they understand, but many don't, what a Roth IRA is. And now some of these new retirement plans with some of the changes that have been adopted, they are allowing Roth IRA contributions inside of your 401ks or retirement plans.
Wow.
Which means, although you're paying tax on the money before it goes into this Roth IRA part of the 401k, you'll never pay tax on that money again. Mm-hmm. And for most of us that have been union workers, most of the money that when we're retired, most of the money that we've put away, that we've put to the side here, along with our Social Security and our pension, are all taxed.
That's right. That's right.
So to have a bucket of money that we're developing that down the road we don't have to pay any tax on, it's a really, really big deal. Yeah.
You may think you have X amount of dollars, and it's really only 2/3 or 3/4 of that because of what you just said, the tax purposes. Real interesting.
Yeah, I have that conversation all the time. I just had it last week with a gentleman who had $100,000 that he owed on his house, and he said, "I'd really like to pay off the house. I think I'm just going to take $100,000 out of my IRA." And I said, "Bob, hold on.
Wait a minute.
That $100,000 looks suspiciously like $67,000 after we pay tax on it. Like, let's not get too excited." And after I walked him through how that worked and interest rates and all those things, we came to a rational conclusion that we weren't going to do that right now. But those are the things you think. You look at that balance, you get pretty darn stoked.
Yeah,
that's a lot of money. $100,000. Are you kidding me? That's great.
You know what, Dad, I can't tell you what I did this for my daughter a couple of years ago. She was buying a house, and I pulled some money out of my 401k to help her with the down payment. And I allotted some money for taxes. I said, well, this should cover it. Boy, was I wrong. My tax advisor came back. You owe another $2,000 on that one. I go, oh my God! And I was just trying to do her a favor. Just
right.
But I hear what you're talking about. I hear what you're talking about.
No good deed goes unpunished.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Anything else here about using outside options to complete?
Well, one of the other things that we'll do with most of our clients is kind of complement. So many of the retirement plans, they're set up and they're fairly rigid on their investment options and those things. So if we wanted to get a little bit more aggressive or have some money be a little more conservative, we could kind of complement those plans with some outside options. For plans that don't have those Roth IRA provisions, we'll oftentimes help people set up Roth IRAs individually, personally, outside of their retirement plans, which gives them, it's nice to be able, again, to accumulate some money that we know down the road we won't have to pay any taxes on. I mean, there's a lot of things that come up, and it kind of blends in with life when you're working and you're making money, but when you're retired, and all of a sudden you have to put brakes on the car, the transmission goes out, and now they're talking about a furnace needing replaced. It's a real bummer to have to go in, dip into those retirement accounts and pay tax on every dollar that you need.
Oh, yeah. Average furnace, you're looking at like $2,500, $3,000 right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They're expensive. Everything's expensive now.
It is. It is. And it's not going down. Nope, not at all.
Sure.
All right, Dan, we're just about out of time. You piqued my interest. You talked about the 401ks, the IRAs, the Roth IRAs. I want to get into that in the next segment for next month. Can we do that?
Absolutely.
Very good. Once again, the website is DanDeVerna.com. You missed something, you can get a lot over there, DanDeVerna.com, or you can continue to listen to America's Workforce. Dan, take care. We'll talk to you next month, my friend.
Absolutely.
Once again, Dan DeVerna, one of our regulars here on America's Workforce. He and several others form Creative Financial Partners, and it's all about handling retirement in America today. That's it for another edition of America's Workforce. Coming up tomorrow, we have Dorsey Hager of the Columbus Central Ohio Building Trades and the latest from Mother Jones Magazine. Until then, all of you have a wonderful day.